Hey guys, um, first of all, this is my first video for this horror channel I'm trying to do. I just wanted to talk about the new film Candyman and how hyped I am for it. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the older film, the original from '92. So, the first thing that I want to say is wow. I mean, what an incredible film that Bernard Rose created in '92. And before that, he did Paper House, which was again an incredible film. Now, the IFC helped create Candyman. It had a very limited budget of $8 million. Now, with that came permission from Clive Barker to say, okay, I'm going to help you make the film. Because it wasn't always about black poverty, impoverished areas in America. The original Candyman was a tall British white guy, you know? So, anybody wants to bitch about the origin story of the original, go back to the source material, and I think you'll see that it has always been evolving. So, I'm going to go ahead and start off with the title card. Of course, we have Philip Glass's beautiful score, and it's going by like this and up and down, and man, it's just absolutely incredible. And you know that those shots were actually pretty amazing for the time, for the amount of stillness and stuff you got from airborne shots. I'll give my Italian kiss to that. So, let's go ahead and move forward. We have a young lady that is telling Virginia Madsen a story, which, you know, she says, this is the scariest story I've ever heard. And, you know, we have Sam Raimi's brother playing a badass for once. And he plays opposite of this female that is saying, hey, you ever heard this story of this guy? He's got a hook for a freaking hand, and if you say his name 5 times in the mirror, he'll appear behind you, breathing down your neck, and will ultimately, I'd say kill you. Who would want to even take the chance? Not this guy. So, they do it, and ultimately she says Candyman for the final time. After she says hell no, and you see Candyman for a brief second, and a hook coming through the floor, and it's blood, and then yeah, Sam Raimi's brother running and hair turning white. You get the drift. So ultimately, we go back into the original times. And we see Helen Lyle and Bernadette, and you know, they're both working on this thesis. You know, what is this thesis? It's about urban legends, and her husband is a urban legend. I don't know what kind of professor he is. It looks like anthropology, maybe. I'm not sure. But he starts talking about alligators in the sewer. Well, they go up, and he's definitely screwing that girl, by the way. And they talk about, oh, Trevor, you promised not to talk about this until Bernadette and we completed our thesis. And he gives a whole spiel about, well, I had children's curriculum, yada, yada. He's screwing the girl. So, the next thing that we have is Helen really starts to dig down into this story. She's still not a believer. Still not a believer. But her and Bernadette go into the Cabrini Green projects, and the white lady is not scared, but Bernadette has an arsenal of these maces, and gosh, I think she had a freaking hand grenade in her purse. But they are ready to go up and figure out what the hell is going on with this urban legend. And what they find is Ruthie Mae McCoy was actually a resident of Cabrini Green, and she got attacked. She said there were people coming through walls. People coming through walls. Think about that whenever you look at the next new Candyman trailer. Teaser. So, she goes through and sees, oh man, this beautiful mural of Candyman, Daniel Robitaille, Granville Candyman, whatever you want to call him, and his teeth are jagged, and there's candy sitting on this pillow, just like in Clive Barker's story. There was candy sitting on the bed, and oh, it was just ugh. And you get this really eerie feeling at that point. Whenever she takes a picture, it's just like, choo. Like she's like, what just happened? She's starting to discover the Candyman and how it takes over people. Well, she goes back out. Amory McCoy confronts her, and what y'all do? What y'all people doing here? Stuff like that. They tell her about the Candyman, and you see Anthony McCoy over there, who's in the new film, by the way, and she tells the short story. So, in short, basically, we have Helen is getting sucked more and more into the myth, and she gets Jake, and he tells her about a person, a child, whose mother was in the convenience store across the street of Cabrini Green, and he goes in there and his genitals were ripped off. And he's sitting there holding himself, screaming. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine going in and seeing that? And whenever Jake said his hair turned white, I want you to remember that is what the first girl who was telling Helen the story said. His hair turned white. This is all about urban legends and about what they mean and how they follow through with the telling and retelling of these stories. So I'm going to end it right here, and I'm going to finish up with the part 2 with whenever Candyman really starts stepping in. If you really like my commentary, then give us a thumbs up, and I'll go ahead and finish off the commentary. Appreciate it, guys.